Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gamer channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today, and we're going to be taking a look at the last Eden raid, Eden's Promise Eternity. This will be the 12th and final of the Eden raids, and in here you'll be going against Eden's Promise.
One that we may share for all eternity.
She's still in there. Somewhere. I won't give up on our future, Gaia. No matter what.
Joined as one, never to be parted, unbound by past or future in this single perfect moment.
Maleficium is going to do party-wide damage that will just need to be healed through. And we'll then teleport to the center of the raid, and we'll summon multiple crystals on the north side of the platform. She'll then link to one of them, and then begin to cast the spell Cast. Depending which crystal she is linked to, it'll cast a different ability. First off, we got Rama, which is going to do a circular AoE around the boss, so you'll want to move away from her to avoid this. Next was Leviathan, which is going to put an AoE on the east and west side of the platform, so you'll just want to move into the center of the platform. Then we got Rama one more time for the circular AoE, so we move back away from the boss, and then back towards the center of the platform to avoid the explosions on the east and west. Eden will then cast Formless Judgment, which is going to be a tank buster on both tanks. So just make sure you're using cooldowns to help reduce this damage some. Until we're back to the center of the platform again, doing cast one more time. This time was Ifrit, so this will do a fire explosion on the north side of the platform, so you just want to move directly to the east and west of the boss. Next was Garuda, which does a AoE on every cardinal direction, so you want to move to the intercardinal spaces in between. You'll then do Ifrit one more time, so make sure you're switching back to the east and west portions of the platform. Followed by Garuda one more time for the cardinal directions, so move to the intercardinal spaces. So this portion of the fight will always be the same. So after this is whenever she'll start mixing it up and doing them in a random order, so you'll have to really be paying attention to which ones she is selecting. So then do another Maleficium for party-wide damage, before stunning the entire party and beginning a phase 2 transition.
Must you interfere? Our utopia will only be complete. Once you are erased from our memory.
You'll want to move towards the glowing circle to be moved towards the next platform. In here you'll need to destroy the different ads and avoid certain AoEs to avoid the crystals being damaged and the Gaia's memory being destroyed. So starting off, you'll have 4 sculptures that you'll just want to AoE down and kill as quick as possible. She'll then do an AoE that you'll want to group up in the center of the platform to absorb the damage. At the same time though, 2 party members are going to be marked that will do cone AoEs shortly afterwards. So these party members should move away from the rest of the group and then reposition back into the center after the cone AoEs form. But either way, just make sure that you're grouping into the center of the platform to absorb the damage for the memory. You'll then move to the next circle to be moved to the third platform.
I told you it would make a great necklace.
Next will be two group up mechanics that you'll want to put them on opposite sides of the platform to avoid hitting the memory in the center of the room. They'll then tether to the memory and begin beating it, so just kill them as quick as you can. Make sure that you're splitting into light parties to spread the damage some. Eden will then do a knockback from one portion of the platform, so you just want to get as close to that side of the platform as possible to avoid being knocked off the opposite side.
Is this ice? Where did this come from?
You'll then move to the glowing circle again to be moved up to the next platform one more time.
How about this one?
This one will summon 6 small adds that you'll want to AoE down as quick as possible.
Now, this one on the other hand.
Followed by a knockback from the center of the platform, so you'll want to get as close to the middle as you can to avoid being pushed off.
What am I doing with this? I'd never wear this color.
Then moving towards the glowing circle one more time to be moved to the final platform. At this time, as long as there is any percentage of Gaia's memories left, then you will survive the AoE that she'll throw at the entire party. So you just want to heal up afterward. Otherwise, it will wipe the entire group. She'll then go back to the platform and you'll begin doing the fight like in the first phase. Instead of doing cast, this time she'll do stalk. And she'll select 2 different crystals, and you'll need to remember which crystals they are. In the meantime, she'll do a Formless Judgment, which is going to be a tank buster that she'll just need to use cooldowns to help reduce the damage some. Then she'll teleport to the center of the platform and do Release. This is going to cast the abilities that she previously stocked. So for us, we had Garuda and Rama, so it's a circular AoE and an AoE on the cardinal directions, so we move away from the boss and into the inner cardinal spaces. She'll then cast Stalk one more time. This time we received Ifrit and Leviathan, so this is a AoE on the east and west portion of the platform, and also an AoE on the north and south. She'll then use Junction on one of the thirds that are available, either Shiva or Titan. For us, she junctioned Shiva, or this is going to give her the ability to cast Diamond Dust, which is just going to do party-wide damage and will need to be healed through. It will also change the floor to ice so that you are going to slide around if you move. After this, there will be a AoE marker on 4 different party members, and then there will be a group up mechanic, so you'll want to regroup as soon as possible to split the damage. At the same time, the boss will cast Rapturous Reach, which is going to do an AoE on one half of the platforms, and then there will be circular AoEs around the entire party. She'll then teleport back to the center of the platform, and finally releasing the 2 abilities that she had stocked previously. After this, Eden will do cast, which is going to just cast the ones that she is linked to instead of holding them for later. For us, the first one was Leviathan and Rama, so we move away from the boss in the north and south sides of the platform to avoid these. Next was Leviathan and Ifrit, so you move into the small safe zones directly to the east and west of the boss. Then cast Maleficium for more party-wide damage. And then do a stock to hold on to 2 more abilities for later. we had Ifrit and Rama, so this is going to be away from the boss and then moving into the east and west corners. The boss will then junction the other primal that they did not do before, so for us is Titan. Start off by casting Earthen Fury, which is going to transform the platform and do a bit of party-wide damage, before summoning the Bomb Boulders and Titanic Bomb Boulders. The Titanic Bomb Boulders have a much larger explosion, so you'll want to make sure you're going to the opposite side of the platform and standing on the second set of Bomb Boulders that were summoned. You'll then reposition after the initial explosion, and then move to the opposite side of the Rapturous Reach to avoid the AoE on that side of the platform, and grouping up for the split damage mechanic. The boss will then teleport to the center of the platform, casting Release, finally doing the abilities that it had previously stocked. I'll then stock 2 more abilities. This for us was Rama and Garuda, so we'll need to move away from the boss in the intercardinal spaces. We'll then do Formless Judgment Tank Buster, so make sure you're using cooldowns to help the healers out some. Before casting Release on the abilities that he just stocked. Then stock 2 more abilities. This time we had Garuda and Leviathan, so we'll want to be in the middle of the platform, but in the intercardinal spaces. After this, the boss will junction the first primal that they had junctioned before. So we got Shiva once more time, so we'll have to go through the Diamond Dust rotation. It'll start off with the party-wide damage, turning the floor to ice before doing 4 AoE mechanics, so you'll want to spread out if you have these. And then group up to split the damage for the next one. Followed by Rapturous Reach, which will do an AoE on one side of the platform, and then spread out to avoid the Frigid Stone AoE that'll be on every party member. And then cast Release on the abilities that were previously stocked. And then do 2 sets of cast. So we had Leviathan and Rama to begin with. Followed by Rama and Garuda. Again, these can be completely random, so it's going to change for your team. Just make sure you're checking which crystals are being stocked or cast, and then modify your placement depending on those. But that should be it for Eden's Promise Eternity. I hope this helped everyone out. If it did, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one.